Here's your news for May 15th, 2020. And your headlines include, more NXT releases continue to be revealed. Asuka's first title defense is against an unexpected challenger. WWE reportedly puts big storyline on hold. Chris Jericho opens up on his backstage heat, and more. We're kicking off today with more news from WWE's recent releases, as it wasn't too long ago that the company cut a ton of staff, both on-screen and off-screen. These cuts were explained as part of a cost-cutting measure, and even though they didn't reveal any NXT releases, those are still coming out. Earlier this week, Rachel Ellering confirmed that she had been released, and this follows on from her boyfriend Cassius Ohno confirming his departure from the company. Including these two, the list of releases from the Gold brand is now 11, and it's possible that more releases from NXT are yet to come. Hopefully everyone who was released from NXT will be able to land on their feet, as their 30-day non-compete clause should be finished soon. And though there's still no indie scene at the moment, hopefully that will change sooner rather than later. Despite these releases, the Gold brand continues to air each Wednesday, and this week's show saw a few injuries take place. During his match against Tony Nese as part of the interim NXT Cruiserweight Championship tournament, Jake Atlas suffered a contusion in his right eye, but is not expected to miss any time in the ring. Former NXT and Universal Champion Finn Balor also suffered a bruised knee during the attack from Damian Priest, and his condition is being monitored, with his status unknown at this time. Hopefully Balor won't miss too much action, but it goes to show injuries can happen at any time in a wrestling ring. From NXT to Raw now, as Asuka captured the Raw Women's title without even knowing it at Money in the Bank. And following her unique title victory, the Empress of Tomorrow has issued an open invitation via tweet. Quoting David Bowie's Dancing in the Street, the Grand Slam winner stated that she was calling out around the world and asked if anyone was ready for a brand new beat. It didn't take long for a returning Mickie James to answer the challenge, saying that she'd never been handed anything in wrestling, especially not a title, and plans on being at Raw and taking the Raw Women's Championship from the new champion. The Empress of Tomorrow responded to this challenge by telling James to bring it on, as it seems the pair will face off this Monday. If WWE does have a match take place, then that means it will have already taken place, as WWE recorded next week's Raw during a multi-day shooting earlier this week. We're looking ahead to tonight's edition of Friday Night SmackDown, as this week's show will feature a segment for Mr. Money in the Bank, Otis. After capturing the coveted briefcase last Sunday, Otis will be the guest on Miz TV, and though it wasn't confirmed, it's likely he'll be accompanied by Mandy Rose. Tonight's show will also see Charlotte Flair return to the blue brand with the NXT Women's Championship, as there will be plenty to see when SmackDown emanates from the Performance Center tonight. Of course, the reason that this week's SmackDown is taking place from the Performance Center is because of the ongoing global situation, as according to reports, the company had to nix a major upcoming storyline for the very same reason. According to WrestleVotes, the lengthy major storyline was supposed to play out over the summer, and was compared to Vince McMahon's limo exploding in 2007 and the Nexus's invasion 3 years later. Now that storyline has been put on hold due to the situation, as WWE is being forced to tape shows on a closed set without any fans, and the report indicated that the lack of a crowd was a key decision maker in putting the mystery storyline on hold. Though we don't know what storyline WWE had planned, hopefully fans will get to see it one day, presumably when crowds are allowed to attend WWE events once again. One man who knows all about being in big storylines is The Undertaker, and arguably one of the biggest, most shocking moments of his career came at WrestleMania 30. In addition to the show seeing Daniel Bryan win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and John Cena beat Bray Wyatt, the show will live on in the memory of fans who saw The Undertaker's streak be broken at the hands of Brock Lesnar. While fans have debated for years whether the streak should have ever been broken, the Phenom himself weighed in during an appearance on Ariel Helwani's MMA show, saying, "Internally, and the way this business works, I knew someday it would end. In our industry, you don't walk away like Floyd Mayweather undefeated or Rocky Marciano. It just doesn't happen that way in wrestling." The dead man added that the idea of the streak ending was something that had been on his mind for a while, though not everyone backstage agreed with the Beast making it 21-1. He said, Most of my peers and people that I work with thought it was a horrible decision, and I just asked Vince, "Are you sure? Is this what you want?" He was like, "If it's not Brock, who can beat you?" It was recently reported that Edge declined breaking the streak in 2008, and while the Deadman streak may no longer be a draw at WrestleMania, the Deadman continues to remain a huge part of WWE's biggest show. Back to SmackDown, and well, tonight's show will see the start of an Intercontinental Championship tournament. Former champion Sami Zayn still isn't happy about being stripped of the gold. When the WWE on Fox Twitter account asked fans who they think the new Intercontinental Champion should be, Zayn replied as only he can, saying the new champion should be, quote, ashamed of themselves. Zayn hasn't been seen on WWE TV for several weeks due to the ongoing global situation, and though a bracket for the tournament hasn't been revealed yet, fans can expect the former champion to be hungry for the title he never lost when he returns to programming. Now, we all know that WWE has had to host shows without crowds for the past couple of months, but it looks like this may be changing very soon. This week, Fox's play-by-play announcer Joe Buck spoke to SiriusXM and revealed that the network is planning on playing crowd noise and placing digital fans in some stadiums. He said, "It's pretty much a done deal. I think whoever's going to be at that control is going to have to be really good at their job and be realistic with how a crowd would react depending on what just happened on the field." With Fox bringing in fans and crowd noise for their NFL shows, it's possible that WWE could be the next to have noise once again, though time will tell whether WWE actually goes ahead with having digital fans. From WWE to AEW next, as Brody Lee has certainly done some big things in the company, including having a very special name for one of his moves. Recently, the Inner Circle's Santana retweeted a clip from a Big Boss Man vs. Kenta Kobashi match, which showed the former correctional facility officer's incredible athleticism, which isn't too different from the former Luke Harper himself. AEW referee Bryce Remsburg went on to explain that Lee uses this style of clothesline himself, which he refers to as the Boss Man, and described it as a wonderful legacy for the WWE Hall of Famer, who sadly passed in 2004. In response, Lee himself simply commented, "True story," and time will tell whether Lee uses the Boss Man when he faces Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship at Double or Nothing. Back to WWE now, and we're looking back at WrestleMania 36 now. As though the show was forced to take place without a crowd, that decision was made only after a lot of fans had bought tickets for the show. Now, Ringside News is reporting that not all fans have been refunded for their Mania tickets yet, and mentioned one reader in particular who bought the tickets for their son's birthday and is now $259 out of pocket because Ticket Center hasn't refunded their money. Though Ticket Center promises a 100% money-back guarantee on their website, those fans who have tried multiple times to contact the service are being ignored, which must be very difficult for fans who expected WrestleMania 36 to be a night they'll never forget. Recently, Ticketmaster made a change to their policy regarding refunds, claiming that postponed events are no longer covered, and with Ticket Center still proudly listing their own money-back guarantee, hopefully some resolution for this problem can be found, and those who paid a lot to attend the grandest stage of them all will get their money back. We've got news from referees next, as according to Ringside News, Vince McMahon has sent out an order that officials need to be respected in the ring and appear to be more legit. This new directive from the boss may explain why Raw's tag match between Rollins and Murphy against Mysterio and Aleister Black ended with so much confusion, as the referee called for the DQ when many believed a rule hadn't been broken. The ruling was later explained online as the referee made their authority known, and it'll be interesting to see how those in the striped shirts are treated on WWE programming from now on. News on Seth Rollins now, as he's going to be a father, and this is a very special time for him and his fiancée Becky Lynch. The man had a hard announcement to make on Raw this week, but it is also a happy time. The Monday Night Messiah shared a picture of Becky Lynch moments after discovering she was pregnant. It was a big moment for them, and he decided to share it with the fans. "I took this a few moments after we got the best news of our lives, and I don't think I could have captured anything more beautiful. I can't put into words how much it means to me. Thank you for all your support over the last couple of days. December can't come soon enough." Becky and Seth's baby is due in December. We'll have to see how long it takes the man to make a return to WWE. She might never return in the same capacity as she was before. There are a lot of unanswered questions, but at least they are happy and healthy. And finally today, we're ending with news from former AEW World Champion Chris Jericho, as before he was making waves as part of the Inner Circle, he was feuding with some of WWE's all-time greats, including Triple H. Speaking to Rich Eisen this week, Jericho said that the pair had issues with each other backstage as well, and explained to listeners how these tensions were diffused. He said, "In the early 2000s, we didn't have much likeness for each other. But we always had great matches, and I think that's one of the reasons why. We just had this professional rivalry, maybe a bit of a personal dislike for each other. But fast forward 5, 6, 7 years, you get to be older and wiser and think back, why did we have so many problems? Why did we hate each other? Why didn't we like each other? And now we're friends." Jericho added that he believes there was a lot of professional rivalry between the two when they were younger, and compared it to a rock band that breaks up only to reunite 10 years later with much better attitudes. With that said, we don't expect the former AEW World Champion to be feuding with WWE's COO in the ring anytime soon, but fans can look back at some of the great matches between the two, which was fueled by the real-life heat and animosity the pair had for each other backstage.